Do you drop your change in the bottom of your purse? Did you know that loose change could help someone struggling to pay their electric bill? The Glasgow EPB has partnered with Community Relief for a new roundup program. By agreeing to have your EPB bill rounded to the next highest dollar, the change will be provided to Community Relief to help the less fortunate here in our community. Your spare pennies can make a huge difference for those struggling to pay for their vital electricity. If you're interested in the program, please call the Glasgow EPB at 651-8341.
Sometimes people are injured through the carelessness of others. That's why the law requires every driver to be insured. You work hard and pay your insurance premiums.
Hello, I'm Ben Rogers. When you're injured in a car wreck, you lose income. You have medical bills, and your ability to support yourself and your family is in danger. At Rogers & Driver, we know that. When you need help, we're here on the square in Glasgow, or visit us at rogersanddriver.com.
Rogers & Driver, your local full-service injury attorneys.
Be our tire. We're always on call and we answer the call. We know that's what keeps our loyal customers coming back season after season, year after year. With so many vying for your business, improving our service is not just a good practice, it's a necessity. From our easy to navigate website to our easy to deal with service department, we work hard to make it easy for you to choose us. No one keeps you rolling like Be Our Tire on Lovers Lane in Bowling Green and West Main Street in Glasgow.
Dad has been in the automobile business for over 40 years right here at Bailey Gibson. Anyone who knows Dad knows that the computer age is not exactly his thing, so we would never plug you in as just another number. Dad was raised in a small town by parents who taught him to do the right thing. Your car buying experience will be backed by a dealer who does the right thing. At Bailey Gibson, you'll make a friend who stands behind what he says and the vehicle you buy. Isn't that what we all want out of a car buying experience?
At PBI Bank, we pride ourselves on providing great customer service with a hometown feel. We invite you to come in and meet our friendly staff who can help you apply for a mortgage, apply for an ag loan, open an account, or help with any other banking service. Trust PBI Bank to be your banking partner for personal or business accounts. Come visit or call us today. We are a Kentucky-based community bank serving the Commonwealth for more than a century. Stop in or visit online at pbibank.com to learn more about what we can offer you.
TJ Regional Health offers a vast array of medical services in our community. The TJ Health Pavilion is home to over 35 family and specialty physicians, outpatient services center, the TJ Urgent Care, and the TJ Pavilion Pharmacy. The TJ Health Cave City Clinic is a walk-in medical care facility providing care 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Stop by and visit one of our locations today.
Would rise and join me in the pledge to the leaders, please.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilmember Johnson, lead us in prayer for the king.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for all the blessings that we take for granted. Lord, we just pray that you help us live each day as you want us to live, and help someone to be able to see Christ in us. Christ in us. Amen.
If you would please clerk, call the roll.
Oliver.
Here.
Mayhew.
Here.
Morris. Here. Larry.
Gross. Dickinson.
Here.
Harris.
Here.
Neal. Kirkpatrick.
Here.
Hammer.
Here.
Gauntz.
Here.
15 present.
Thank you. You have in your packet a copy of the minutes from the April 24th council meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Being the case, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Councilmember Kirkpatrick, and second?
Second.
Councilmember Norris. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. First item on the agenda tonight is Chief Atwood from the Fire Department will give his annual report, status of that department. Chief?
Mayor, Council, it's my privilege to come give the annual report for the Glasgow Fire Department. I did want to say I've served in my whole time here under, I think, 4 mayors and a lot of council people, and I've been really privileged to work with you, and it's been my honor to be here, and I hope you're pleased with my 24 or almost and a half years of service. So it's my privilege to be up here tonight. I will not talk about everything. Am I standing in your way? Just tell me to go left. Okay, we got you. All right, I do not have everything that we're going to go over tonight. I give you a packet that's got a lot of the run total data and all that in it, the figures. Go over that. I apologize that I didn't get that out to you earlier so that you could see it, but if you get any questions after this is over with, I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. I do have a few slides we're going to go over tonight about the annual report. I do appreciate Carol Taylor. She's been instrumental for me. She's done this PowerPoint for me and set up the format, and I do appreciate that. Stopped it, didn't you? So I couldn't show it. All right, goals and objectives. The fire department has 43 that we defined as things that we kind of look at, how we measure success, things that we worked on with the mayor. I won't talk about all those tonight. I got about 4 or 5 that we're going to talk about. We're going to go over just some of the things to kind of see what we do in the fire service. Again, as most of you know, I could talk for hours, and I won't tonight. Okay, I'm going to try to be abbreviated and try to get to the point. Fire calls, and you'll see listed how many fire calls we had. I basically look at the national fire call, the average comparison to how many fire calls, fire responses to total fire calls. National average is 5%. Here in Glasgow, we're 14%. Okay, and there's some explanations kind of for that. The national average on medicals, if I look over at it, is 64%. We do 55%. That's basically your difference. Nationally, most fire departments run way more medical calls. That's wrecks, rescues, heart attacks, than they do fire calls. We're kind of a little bit different than that. We don't run it near as many medical as the national average. We run more fire calls. It's just one of those comparisons that you like to see. The one thing I will say, we've done a lot of data work this year. Okay, with the EKU study, we've tried to get our data packages a little bit better. Some of the figures I've got, it's hard to run back years ago and look at the numbers, but currently I can do that. There's a few things, and this is one of the things, how do we measure success for the fire department? There's a few things we can do that actually dictate or help out response times. Okay, and Joanne's here with dispatch, and sometimes they can go into their procedure. For us, there's only about 2 factors that help or hurt our response times. And one of them is called a rollout time. That is the time that we get the page or get the knockout at Station 1 from dispatch to we're on the truck rolling. Okay? There's 3 different vehicles on there. Engine 1, Engine 3, and Ladder 2. Alright? As you can see, Engine 1 and Engine 3 are basically the same time, 49 seconds and 48 seconds respectively. Ladder truck is 111, and that's kind of explainable because part of that is the way the data is entered. Nothing against dispatch, but generally if we have a 3-truck response, generally it's Engine 1, Engine 3, and the ladder is the last one to ever be entered. So a lot of times they kind of get the last pickings, and so their number looks a little bit high. But I think for the 48-49 is pretty close. I can tell you from day one that I walked in here, it was really imperative. The chief stressed, I want you out of the station quick. You got to understand that 48-49 seconds is from 2 o'clock in the morning, dead asleep, till they're out on the road going to your house. These people that's got emergencies, that's pretty quick in my book. When you can go from dead asleep to less than a minute, we're out on the street going and trying to help out, I think that's pretty awesome. So that's one of the things we track is some of the data. The other, and these two, and these kind of get confusing, but don't let them confuse you too much, the 2016 response time. One of our goals is we want to get to everywhere in the city in less than 5 minutes. That's the time the tone goes off to we're in the driveway of that residence or at that wreck scene within 5 minutes. That's the national goal, is 5 minutes. As you can see, Station 1 is at 79%. Okay, we're getting there, but we're not there. Station 2, 67.30. part of that is Station 1 has a little bit bigger than normal response area for stations. They usually look at 3 miles square. We're about 4, a little over. Station 2, and we'll look at that in a minute, one reason their data is a little bit off is because the extra response time that we've got to go to the northern part of the city. Hence, we've talked about this, and we all understand about the third station. And I'm really not going to plug that much tonight, but you'll see some data to back those figures up. The other part, the 90 percentile, okay, is different than the average response time, 2016. All right, those are two different factors. The 90 percentile, you should be within 5 minutes, 90% of the time to the responses, and that's something we run a data check on. Here is the response time averages. Again, the goal is under 5 minutes. You could have an average response time and still not be within the 90%. You understand what I'm saying because of the high runs. So Station 1 and Station 2, okay, are to the left. They're 414 and 419. All right. Now, the one thing that you've got to understand that there's a Station 3 data package loaded in there. This year, 2016, the whole year, we actually ran in our computer system as if we were running to 3 stations. We divided the town up. The town is divided into 2 halves. We divided up into 3. We said, okay, this will be Station 1's response area, Station 2's response area, Station 3's response area. We broke that up. Looking at that, if you take Station 1 and Station 2's response areas by the response time, they're almost exactly the same. When Station 2 ran to the designated Station 3 response area, that's what that total is. That's how long it's taking them that much longer to get out there. A minute 20, minute 30 on average to get to that area, okay? But you got to understand, over 2 minutes, the fire doubles in size every minute. All right, so we're fighting a battle there. But that's just something I want you to see. We actually done hard data that we could come back and I could come before you and say, listen, we've run some numbers and we got some numbers we can look at. So that's some of the stuff that we've done in our data package. GFD run volume. In there, you've got this in your data package, but 1966, 50 years ago, we had 197 runs. 50 years later, we got 1,208. That's just emergency. That's not everything we do. Your package will show there's about 5,000 things that we done last year. You see a trend, because I see a trend. When I look at anything with a scale like that, and basically it's going straight up, so what does the future hold? The future holds more runs. I can see it by the past history of 50 years. That's something that the next chief, the next council, the next mayor will have to deal with. More responses, maybe adding a crew, maybe adding another truck somewhere down the line to meet that goal. One of the neat things we did was containment percentages. We wanted 90% of the time, if we went to a room and contents fire, we wanted to keep it in there. If we went to a fully involved structure, we wanted to keep 90% from spreading to another house or affecting another. We done the room and contents fire. We had 1 that got out of the room and contents once we got on the scene. We contained it exactly where it was at. Structures, every one, when we got there, if it was fully involved, we contained it to that structure. And I'm sure everybody's seen Kansas City where they had multiple structures on fire. You know, here again, we can't stop everything, but the one thing we can look at to say, hey, we're trying to do as good as we can. Okay? 2016 value, and you have that in your package. Total value of structures that had fires. This is not all structures we responded to, but the ones that had fires, not fire alarms or anything like that. $56,720,150, as best we can tell, was the value. Last year we lost $431,506, and no, I'm not happy with that, but that's sometimes you got to live with that. But most of that happened before we even got there. Okay, we saved $56,288,644 in property last year. I think that's commendable to the guys that get out here and beat the streets, and that's all from getting there fast. Okay, the longer it takes to get there, too fast. Fire code inspections, I'll hit a couple of these real quick. 1966, they did 92. Today, 2016, last year we done 884. I think those are great. Appreciate Battalion Chief Shirley for the job he does. Go out and make sure these businesses, factories are meeting the code, meeting the standard. I think it saves on having fires down the road. We received 2 grants last year and 1 grant was denied. Okay. We got a fire department. We got 6 automated external defibrillators. We do not have them yet. They were on recall when we ordered them, so they're going to fix the problem before they send them to us, but we've got 6 of those. And also we've got a thermal image camera, and I'm going to pass this around and let you look at it. But I want to commend again Carol Taylor, because she's done a great job for us. She was instrumental in these 2 grants passing through. All right, we did have 1 grant, I'll talk about it in a minute, not getting through. This is 1995, okay? This is 2017. You were instrumental in us getting this. It's about $5,900. The city paid about $27,000. State of Kentucky paid $32,000. This cost $15,000. We bought it. This cost $59,000. Inside the building right now, I can tell you which way I'm pointing with this. The technology is unreal with this. But what also you got to understand, one guy has to hold this. And this camera had just died when we finally got this one in. You either got to hold this camera or this camera. This one has a clip. You can actually flip it. I'll let you pass it around if you want to look at it. But a lot of difference in technology in those years. Okay, so appreciate the council and what you're doing for us, that we're able to go for grants. I do want to say that we did not get one on the SCBA's. It was declined. These are really competitive. There's about 20,000 fire departments go after these grants, and they only grant about 9,000. So about half get them. We asked for $185,000. The bad part, and here's what I want to talk about just a little bit, somewhere if we don't get a grant for that, we've got to figure out and replace them, okay, the SCBA's. But here's the good part. If we can get a grant, and these come up every year, the city pays $9,250 for a $185,000 grant. I think that's a pretty good trade-off for what we can get. That's why we're really competitive, trying to get out there, getting grants, because of the equipment we're going to have to replace. That camera that you've got, we was going to put in this budget. Okay, we was going to put in this budget this year, but because we got a grant, we didn't have to. Okay, and I thank you for that, and I appreciate looking ahead. I will finish up with a couple of pictures. We added 3 more new firemen this year. I will say they're all 3 doing a tremendously good job. We do have our first female on Glasgow Fire Department, and she is a black cloud. Okay, she's caught every fire that you can possibly think of. She's done a great job. The other 2, a little bit behind on catching fires, which that's good. I don't care nothing about having another fire in my whole career, to be honest with you. But if we have it, I want to be there. So it's just the way it is. Again, special thanks to Carol Taylor, my administrative assistant, for all the things that she does for us each and every day. My assistant chief, Brian Marr, Battalion Chief Shirley, and Carol for helping me. I wouldn't want to do this job without them, and I appreciate them. And to my firemen, I appreciate the guys, the men and the women that work tirelessly to see that this city is provided with what I feel like is the best fire protection, education, and prevention anywhere around. Anybody got a question? If you do have a question, call me. I'll be more than glad, or come down and we'll sit down, we'll talk about the fire department, all you want to talk. Okay? Thank you.
Chief, thank you for that. That rollout is truly commendable when you think of a guy in a dead asleep, 46 seconds later to have his pants on and be riding in a truck is pretty commendable. So thank you and your crew for the work that you do. Next item on the agenda is the second reading of an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance.
It appearing that the Harry Eugene Houchins Estate owner applicant has requested a zoning change for the property located at 1532 Oil City Road in Glasgow, which contains .65 acres more or less, from R1 classification to B2 classification. A schematic drawing of the property subject to rezoning is attached as Exhibit A. A trial-type due process hearing concerning this proposed zoning change was held on March 20, by the Joint City-County Planning and Zoning Commission, which resulted in a recommendation by the commission that the property described to be rezoned from R1 to B2 classification. Copies of the findings and recommendations of the commission have been forwarded to the council, which are hereby adopted by the council and are attached to this ordinance as Exhibit B. Now therefore be it hereby ordained by the city as follows. Section 1, the findings and recommendations of the commission, copies of which are attached hereto as Exhibit B, are hereby approved in all respects. Section 2, the property located at 1532 Oil City Road in Glasgow, which contains .65 acres, is rezoned from R1 to B2 classification. Again, the real property covered by the ordinance being described in Exhibit A. Section 3, all future development of this property shall comply with the requirements of the Development Plan Ordinance adopted by the Council on December 30, 1991. Section 4, this ordinance shall take effect upon its passage and publication according to law.
Having heard the ordinance read, do I have a motion to approve? Councilmember Honeycutt, and second?
Second.
Councilmember Witcher, any discussion? This being the second reading, this will be a roll call vote. If you would, please, John.
Dickinson? Yes. Lowry?
Yes.
Honeycutt?
Yes.
Gounce?
Yes, sir.
Hammer?
Yes.
Oliver?
Yes.
Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
10 yes.
Thank you. The motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a municipal order appointing Joyce Allen as the resident member of the Glasgow Housing Authority Board of Directors.
On order of the mayor, Joyce Allen is hereby appointed nunc pro tunc to the Glasgow Housing Authority Board of Directors to serve in that capacity for a 4-year term which will expire August 31, 2020. This appointment is subject to the approval of the Glasgow City Council.
Having heard the order read, do I have a motion to approve? Councilmember Witcher, and second?
Second.
Councilmember Kirkpatrick. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. That's all the items that we have on our agenda for tonight. I have a few announcements. First of which is the Highland Games will begin June 2nd. It will carry on the 3rd and the 4th at the Barren River State Park. You have in front of you a ticket form. Those have been distributed to each and every one of you and need to be returned by the 17th if you wish to have tickets to any of those events. They are all outlined on that sheet. So please, if you would, turn those back in either here at City Hall or to John Garrett. Next, some Plaza news. Miss Adrian's Dance Studio, the Heroes and Legends recital, will be held May the 13th at 11 a.m. and May the 14th at 3 p.m. at the Plaza Theater. Tickets are on sale for $10. The Barron County Middle School Band, Choir, and Orchestra will present Music Extravaganza on May the 16th at the Plaza Theater. This starts at 7 p.m. with the doors opening at 5, and tickets are $5, and those are general admission seating. And lastly, the Cadillac 3 will perform at the Plaza Theater on May the 20th at 8 p.m. with special guests Old Southern Moonshine Revival. Tickets are $30 and $25. Those are available online at historicplaza.com, or you can contact the Plaza Theater for further information or to purchase your tickets. Are there any other announcements?
The event, the Bluegrass event recently sponsored by Kiwanis, was a complete success. All of that money goes back into the children in the community.
Great. Thank you very much to the Kiwanis Club for doing that. Anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. We are adjourned.